Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for Politically Incorrect Knitters. I am Deplorable Knitter. This lovely lady is Ann Pinkova. And thanks for joining us at a weird time on a Friday night, but life is life, and so we're here. I mean, it's cool. It's good. We got people here, so thanks for coming. Before we start talking about all the things that there are to talk about, we are sponsored by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. You can go to chickenladyfiberarts.com and get 20% off of your order of $50 or more by using our code PIKQuiche. So she has great yarn. I don't happen to have any right here right now, but that's okay.
This is Chum Bucket. This is Chum Bucket Blues, which I will show when I show my sweater because it's really cool. And it is absolutely beautiful. It's her Shark Week colorway. She has so many beautiful yarns. And also, make sure you're signed up for her newsletter because she has some sales stuff coming up that will only be available to newsletter subscribers. So do sign up for that. And also, there we go. Sorry, I had Chum Bucket Blues, but Fire Brick is our giveaway this month. So be sure to comment once the video is done to enter for that giveaway.
Yeah, either Rumble or YouTube, as long as you leave a comment on the video after the live is done. So, and you can use the code PIKQuiche for 20% off of your order of $50 or more at her store. So, cool stuff. Let's talk knitting quick. We got a lot going on. Something's up with my comments, Ann. I can't see them, so I guess we're going to have to, I could grab my laptop if you want me to.
If you want
to. Kind of see what's up. Okay, just 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm usually on my laptop, but it's a phone kind of night because it's pretty late. I didn't want to get off my bed.
And thank you all again for tuning in at this weirdo time. Hope you all are getting your Shark Week knitting done. Getting your projects. There are some projects complete already. And if you want to submit your complete projects, go to the original form. And on that form, there's 2 links. One for Shark Week finishes and one for Shark Bites, which, well, there won't be any Shark Bites until
not yet.
midnight on Sunday. But if you finish it and you want to make sure that's all logged in, go ahead to the form, click through the link, follow instructions. There you go.
Yeah. And if you have questions, if you're not certain you did it properly, you can always drop us an email or, reach out and ask us and we can try to guide you. So, because we're always happy to do that. Okay, so just 1 second. You talk about your knitting. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to say that we do also plan on doing a closing ceremony on Sunday for Shark Week as well.
Yes.
So that will be fun.
And I think we said same time as last week, but I don't remember when that was. So it's going to be what, 6 or 7 my time, 6 or 7 Eastern on Sunday. So yeah, look for that. We'll have a link up shortly.
Yep. We'll nail down those times later.
Absolutely. So
otherwise,
does that, just out of curiosity, does that Fire Brick coordinate with Chum Bucket Blues, or does it?
I mean,
it could, right? Because there's a little bit of red in there. Because you were holding them together, and I was thinking.
There actually isn't any red. There's a little bit of brown and just the tiniest bit of orange, I think, where the brown breaks just a little bit.
Okay. So, well, they still look nice together, in my opinion.
Nice together, yeah. Also, because last week we had an interview with Lori, Arkansas Yarn. Check it out if you haven't. But I have a couple of things that I made this past week before I get on to my Shark Week stuff. So if you want to see that. But we're all widescreen.
It just happened. This is why I don't do it on my phone anymore. But like I said, I was being lazy and I should have taken. I couldn't find a table that my laptop could sit on. Is really what happened. So
you know, that
It is
happens.
what it is. I don't know.
Hmm.
There might be a couple of me in a minute. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh
Okay.
no. Okay.
Oh no.
Anyways,
Okay. Yeah.
that I knit these out of various scraps that I had because this was my um it wasn't quite Shark Week yet, and I had like 2 days of knitting and nothing else I wanted to work on. So I'll do a couple of baby hats. Let's just do some baby hats right
Yeah,
now.
those are cute. Nice.
Various scraps.
Let's see. I'm just going to see if I can get. Okay. Hey,
Uh,
Dad.
no, my
I
father.
just wanted to make sure that I could get the comments from the laptop onto the screen. So we're good.
Yep.
Worked it out.
But
Yes.
yes, I also week before last made this yarn, or I didn't make this yarn. Made this shawl from yarn by Tina of One Yarn Fiber, and she get
You
yes,
you made a shawl from yarn? Look at you go.
I know I did.
It's just so funny the way you said that. Sorry.
Right, right. But this is, and I wish I could remember the colorway. I got this from her a long time ago, and this is so. There's like a whole nebula there. I'm trying to remember if it was called like the Eskimo Twins Nebula or something like that, and it
It certainly
is.
had something to do with a galaxy or
Mhm.
something. I
Yeah.
remember that. That's cool.
So I did my my Stardust shawl, and here, so there's the little snowdrop on it, and on this side you have the sort of star pattern, and I actually
Nice.
made a mistake and it made it cuter, um or at least I think so. You can tell me whatever. But I did the stars, and if you've seen the movie Stardust, personal favorite of mine, at the end of the movie, they go off and they're stars together. So it's actually exactly in the middle of my star band. You have this little double star deal. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of cute. But
That's
I
cool.
I really love how this ended up pooling
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, that little nebula
That
looking
does look
deal
like a
is
nebula. Yeah,
it's
that's great.
fabulous. But it goes out in stripes, and it's sort of stripes within the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just beautiful.
Yep, it's pretty.
But yeah, anyways. So that
Well,
was fun. Um little worried about having enough yarn for that one, but yeah, that was a good time. I enjoyed
mm-hmm.
that. It's nice to revisit old patterns. Set that to the side over there. And otherwise, I have been working on my sweater for Shark Week, and I have to admit a crime.
I know about the crime, but yes,
You
I
know,
told her to do it. I'm your accomplice.
I feel really bad. I am caught in scandal and in yarn embezzlement because I had got 3 skeins of Chicken Lady yarn to make the sweater, and let's all be honest, I'm not a small girl, so making a sweater for myself, 3 skeins is not enough. So I just barely okay. So and it is a crop sweater, um, but it is. I got the main portion of it all done, and I got most of the ties on the front, and you'll see this better on Sunday, hopefully. But the sleeves I'm doing 2 at a time, so they're all bound up behind, which is why this is not working out so
Mm-hmm.
well. But I I embezzled one of the skeins from the prizes. I bought another one to be replaced, so no one will be shorted. But yeah, that I grabbed the 4th skein. I am sorry.
Yeah.
Um, this
Well,
beautiful yarn.
she's talking to me, right? And she's like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna have enough yarn to finish." Blah blah blah. And then she goes, "Well, I do have the prize yarn." And I said, nobody will like know and or care as long as they get whatever you said they were gonna get. Like,
Yeah, which
you know,
everyone is going to get
which
what. Yeah.
it's totally fine because, like she said, she already ordered it. But it was like I might not be able to finish my project, or it might not turn out the way I want it to because I don't have enough yarn. And I'm like, but you have enough yarn. Like, it's okay. It's
I
not a
I could
problem.
have I could have done different colors for the sleeves. I could
No,
have
I
done
don't. I've seen it on her, and she didn't want different colors for the sleeves. It's really super adorable. It really looks cute on her. So
that. Thanks.
you wanted to
And
finish it the way you wanted to so that you'll use it. Like,
mhm,
yeah, Shark Week, let's finish our project, let's not get bit, but also let's make something that we really are going to enjoy, like
mhm,
for real. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So,
And I am being it is pulling a little bit on the sleeves, and it really didn't for the rest of the sweater. So we'll
hmm
see how that works. But yes,
hmm
I'm definitely going to like this with I'm thinking, well, on how much yarn I have, I can probably do like 3/4 length sleeves, which I
yeah,
think will be nice.
yeah. When she was talking about it at first, I said I think at least like elbow length would be super cute.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, super cute. I love
Yeah,
it.
I enjoy it. And I yeah, the double knit edge I actually really liked.
Okay.
It it's kind of like a more complicated I cord basically, but I like how it turned out. I think it makes for a really clean edge. And yeah,
hmm
it's been fun. But yeah, sorry, that's all
Cool.
my knitting.
Cool. I have some knitting. Hey, look, I'm a knitter
Yay!
on a knitting podcast, and I finally have some knitting. Um, First, I'll show you guys my Shark Week because if you are on Instagram, you've already seen this. But I
But it's
haven't
cool.
gotten much farther than I was before, but I did have to, I had a couple of false starts with the lace. And so, what I've discovered about myself, because I'm not much of a lace knitter, is that I actually have to like kind of say what I'm doing. Like if it's like knit two together, yarn over, I like if I don't like sit there and say it to myself, I mess up. So that's what I've been doing. And it's a 24 row lace pattern. And I think I've done 10. So
Nice.
I'm like almost halfway. And then once this is done, I'll knit another 20 something rows of garters. So it'll be, and then it gets blocked and this gets sewn around. And then it's a little cowl that's like a triangle cowl with the lace in the front. And I'm super excited about it because I didn't know what color to use for my lace, but I'm really loving this is from Joy and Fabrics when they were going out
Mhm.
of business. It's a single ply wool. And I just think it looks
Ooh.
really super cute with it. And I'm really
I,
excited about it.
I do love single ply. It's so fluffy.
I do too. And I know that that's probably not the best choice for lace because we're trying to like show off the different stitches and stuff, but I didn't have anything that wasn't single ply in that color. And so, and the color is what it really, like I was struggling because I wanted it to either like match or make sense. And I feel like it really does match really well. So
Yeah,
it just is
yeah,
what
I
it
think
is.
so. And the slightest bit variegated too, I think helps it.
Hmm
Like it
Yep.
seems to be more kind of naturally from the yarn than if it was more harsh, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're saying. And I think that that might be part of it too. It's a little bit tonal.
Yes.
And then we went sailing today. And my poor husband, I just looked at him. Part of the reason we were a little late is because I was like, dude, you need water. He's like all red. And we were all out, and I didn't put any sunscreen on either. And I don't know, I must have enough of a base tan by now that it's not bothering me, but he is red and he said he wasn't feeling good. So I'm like, here, drink some water. But we went
Yeah.
sailing today. It's the first time we've been able to this summer, unfortunately. Things have been too busy. Um, and So while we were on the boat, once I did all my stuff, because my job is like controlling the center board, which is like there's a board in the middle of a sailboat that helps you not tip over and you can move it up and down. So I was in charge of that and I'm in charge of the sail and the anchor. So like once I got all my stuff together, I was able to knit and it's just a hat. It's a pattern that I've had in my head for a while and I'm not sure it's working out the way I wanted it to, but um right now it's just a twisted it's like some ribbing with twisted stitches, but they're
Yeah.
gonna hopefully spiral and do some things. I'm not
Yeah.
certain that they're
That
doing what I
yarn's
want them
really
to.
pretty.
Oh, so this is from Revolution Yarn, and this
Hmm.
color is True Colors, and it's a lot greener than it's showing on screen. But
Hmm.
I was laying out in the sunshine with it, and I was loving it because it's like a fairly bright green outside, and then with the colors in it, it was like this really nice pop. And like some of the stitches are just one color, and I'm a sucker for green. So,
Mm.
so this is not my Shark Week project. This is just because I couldn't possibly do lace in a boat. Like,
Yeah.
let's be realistic. I can knit fairly well in many places, but I'm on my lace section. On my lace section, I was like, there's no way I'm doing that in the boat. I couldn't do it sitting on my couch. So let's be real.
The
So I
absolute
did
focus.
that, and not to be a total downer, but I talked about it a couple of weeks ago when our little Kiwi kitten had to have her surgery, and unfortunately, she didn't get through it. She made it through the surgery, but then she didn't recover. She was too tired, and the surgery was more extensive than we had expected. But
Mhm.
poor little Clementine here just keeps walking around the house crying and looking for her buddy. So
Oh.
she always has needed a lot of love, but now she needs a lot of extra love. So
Mhm.
sorry about her screaming. You'll probably hear her for a while now because till we're done with renovations, we're not going to think about getting her another friend because
Mhm.
too much stuff happening.
Yeah.
But um, oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Um, so that's everything. Like life. I've been busy. I've been busy doing all kinds of like, sailing. Like who doesn't? It was a great day. It was a great day for sailing.
Sounds
Um,
awesome.
so we have news to talk about. There's a lot of crap going on.
There is so much news to talk
Hmm.
about. Like last week, kind of a slow news week.
Well,
But yes.
we after we got in from the boat and ate dinner and stuff, I laid down and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna chill for a minute. And then I found this podcast. I don't even know who the guy was. He was really good though, but he was talking about um, Ghislaine Maxwell and possibly some sort of pardon thing that they're talking about. And like then he was like, how many people, how many names are enough to give her a pardon? How many? And it was really interesting. Um,
Uh, I'm well, what I've heard isn't close to a pardon. It's more of, like partial immunity kind of thing.
Yeah, well, this was just him speculating about it, but it was an
Mhm.
interesting conversation because in the chat, some people were like, "No, she shouldn't get anything," and then some people were like, "Well, if we get like a lot of people and some high-profile people, I think it would be worth it." And it was just an interesting, hearing him talk about it. But
Mhm.
yeah, so there's talk. So what, 2 3 weeks ago the whole conversation was there's nothing to see here, there's nothing going on with the Epstein thing, and now this is happening. Like it's very strange, isn't it?
It is. It is. But it's a question of what they actually have, what they can actually bring forward.
Hmm.
Um and if where I think there's a certain amount of, like, if it turns out that the list is one thing, but it doesn't include, everything you hope and dream it is, that there's a certain amount of people who simply won't believe it because of that. Um, but yes, I think that her coming forward and testifying is, the best possible case for this situation.
Hmm.
And hopefully we'll have good info.
Yeah, I read she talked about 100 people apparently according to Therese, so that's significant. Like what do you give somebody for that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
um but the other thing that I learned about that, there's been a lot of speculation, especially by Democrats, like that Trump's on the list and that's why he's trying to get rid of it and all these different things. And there was a journalist that was talking, and he did 100 hours of interviews with Epstein over the course of like 3 or 4 years.
Mhm.
And Epstein thought that Trump is the one who blew him into the Palm Beach police in the first place.
Mhm.
He truly believed that with all his heart. And so the whole thing about, um, that Trump's involved in it, it it doesn't sound very likely from what I've heard, which I,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, and I mean that Epstein's lawyer had said that Trump was not involved. Trump had previously participated with, like you said, the Palm Beach police when things were
Mhm.
coming out about Epstein. He threw Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. He was like, "No,
Mhm.
you're," all
Yep.
this stuff. And it's like, "Oh, well, Trump is on the flight logs." Trump took the smaller plane from New York to Florida. And that was before, he threw him out of Mar-a-Lago
Mhm.
and the rest of it. It's like he was never at the island. He was never anywhere close to the island. You
Yeah.
know, it's like that did not happen.
Yeah, I want to bring this up real quick. Teresa's saying if Trump was guilty, don't you think Biden or Obama would have released that right away?
Mhm.
Yes and no. I think that in too many people could be implicated. And so yes, they want to get him, but also I don't know that there's a lot, like Clinton was on it 28 times or something. So like I
Mhm.
don't know that you could just release Trump and have that be the end of it. There would have to be more, and then that would implicate a lot of their cronies, even if Trump, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
Like, I don't know.
no, it's very true. And I'm sure you saw the Wall Street Journal, birthday card thing that, was A, refuted, and B, didn't even sound like Trump. It is so easy to do a Trump impression and get his voice to sound right. And just
Right.
like you want to write down what Trump sounds like, and it's very like weird and gay fanficky. And yeah, like what is this? What am I reading?
That's
Actually,
funny.
it sounded, was it Comey who did the, "Oh, I was so afraid of," oh, what was that? It was like a member of the Trump administration that he hid
I'm
behind the
not sure.
curtains and then he admitted to it. But he wrote it in his book with this dramatic, like, "Oh, I was so emotional." And I'm like, what is this, Twilight? Oh, he made me so nervous. I had like, what? Who's your underwriter? Anyways,
Yeah,
but
well, the problem with a lot of fanfic is that they don't have any editors. So, I mean, that could be the problem with that book also.
mhm,
They weren't quite getting the thought that the how that they thought they were getting. I'm not sure.
there you go. Sounded good in your
um,
head, not so good when somebody reads it back to you.
yeah. But so I don't know. I think from some of the comments, obviously, some people have been following the Epstein thing a bit more closely than I have, but I heard some stuff that was new to me today, and I thought it was really interesting.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel a little bit encouraged that we went from there's nothing to see here to we're talking about it again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, Trump had always, throughout it all, released for whatever viable information to be out
Hmm.
there. That he said that with Pam Bondi. He said that, with that even later when they're like, "Oh, he's saying he doesn't want stuff to release." It was him doing a press conference for something else saying, like, "Look, I don't think this is what you think it is, but sure, we are still releasing it. We are still going forward." That was not a part of what he said, that he was, obstructing whatever investigation.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
I had a completely random thought that I would like to tell you. You
yes.
look very lovely in this soft light. You don't even look like you're see through tonight.
Aw, thank you. That's very kind.
I was just thinking you look different, and I think that's why.
Daylight doesn't do well for me. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying that in the sunshine, you always look so pale. You always look lovely then too. But I'm just
Oh,
saying, you got some color tonight. It looks good on you.
oh, that's very kind.
She's like, okay, shut up. We're talking politics now. Sorry. Back to the what we're doing. Um, so we got all the Epstein stuff going on, which we don't know much about it yet, but it's interesting.
Mhm.
Um, what about Tulsi Gabbard? Is it Tulsi who did it? Yeah, right, with the Obama stuff.
Yeah, she
Yep,
came out
yep.
and talked about Obama, and that the Obama Russia was invented entirely by Obama. That they did have information on Russia, and that Russia's play in the 2016 elections was just to undermine respect for the system. That they didn't think that they thought that Hillary was the likely win, but they
Mm-hmm.
also didn't think that Hillary would have appreciably helped Russia's interests any more than
Right.
Trump would have. But that Hillary is the shoo-in candidate, and they had information on Hillary that they were planning to release to the press after the election about all the tranquilizers she's
I
on because
know. I
what
heard
was it?
that, and I was like,
Psycho emotional problems is how it was worded. Bouts
gosh.
of anger or extreme cheerfulness and weird mood swingy stuff. You know,
Mhm.
and it's been
Yeah, but
said
I
by other
heard that.
people.
But they
Sorry.
were talking like, oh, they wanted Trump in. Well, if they wanted Trump in, they would have released that shit way out in the when everybody was going to vote and stuff. That she's like on drugs and
Yeah.
obviously not doing well. And
But
so,
that when the intelligence briefing about this came out, Obama basically sent it back so it would implicate Trump, to make it, slant into one way to destroy Trump when he's coming into office. This is in between election and quote peaceful transfer of power. Um,
right,
which is pretty well, treasonous, scummy generally,
right.
um to undermine the president and therefore the new leader of the United States for whatever imagined personal gain Obama might have.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to Megyn Kelly yesterday, and I know a lot of people don't like her, but she does have a background in law. She's a lawyer, and she
Mm.
had somebody else on, and they were talking about how with the Supreme Court ruling that you can't be held accountable for things that are done in office, and then also she was saying that treason might not hold up, and the other thing that they could get him on has already expired. So even though it shows that Obama's a piece of crap, it things may not come of it because it as the president he has immunity, and
Mhm.
the treason is such a high standard, and then the other thing that he's done has already expired, and so it might be like one of those, like, we all know he's crap but nothing ever comes of it, which is kind of crappy, but at least it's something. I don't know.
Yeah, and at okay, Obama was just horrendous. And it still surprises me people who A, voted for Obama, and B, was like, oh, the Obamas, they were just so nice. They're a lovely couple. I'm like, they are the most vindictive, bitter,
They seem
just,
mean. They just
yeah.
seem like, I don't know. Have you ever been around somebody that just has a chip on their shoulder and everything is like somebody else's
Mhm.
issue, and like they just seem
Well,
miserable like that to me. I don't know.
well, and that it's all about the Obamas for really not much that the Obamas did. I mean, they
Yeah.
wasn't a good president. And yeah, all of his happy Marxist stuff and stuff. Anyways,
Yeah. There's this comment. More sedition than treason. I think that that's kind of what
that's
I was
true.
trying to get at. It's not.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of it. There it is. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, he has immunity for official acts only, right? But I just think that they may not be able to punish Obama, but they can go after the circle of people around him. They don't have
Mhm.
immunity. So, yeah, something could come of it, but everybody's like, "Oh, Obama's going to like I saw some stuff like he's going to jail." And I'm like
Mm. And
probably not, unfortunately.
right. And I mean, if okay, if Trump's focus is the deep state, the career office holders, all of these three-letter agencies, then definitely, those need to be taken out. And to expose this and have everybody see what goes on in DC, all the horrible stuff, that
Mhm.
then helps,
Right.
to be like, hey, and I still think they should abolish the FBI. That was floated for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Mhm.
CIA, you know, get all of these temporary agencies out.
Yeah.
We don't need them. They're obviously corrupt. And sure, if you want to take them and retool them and make them more fit to purpose, you know, I guess we can respect that. But it's like, I'd much rather just get rid of the FBI here. Like, we do
Right.
not need this. But
I
anyways,
mean,
but
I
yes,
I get
having
what you're saying, but like I don't know if they're gonna get rid of it. I would love freaking term limits. I'm so
Mhm.
sick of these. I mean, I'm into my 40s now. Like I used to be surprised when I was like in my 30s and people had been in office as long as I have been alive. Now I'm in my 40s and there are people who've been in office longer than I've been alive, and I'm like, how does this even happen? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It
Uh,
needs to stop. It needs because it's just ridiculous for real.
mhm.
Oh, Teresa's pretty. If anything's done to Obama, the cities will burn. 2020 will look like a birthday party. They
I don't
will
think
look like peaceful protests. I don't know. Trump might not
I
let
don't
them.
know because the thing is that they
Oh.
had the peaceful protests moment,
Hmm.
and the USAID money is gone. That
Hmm.
they tried to whip things up, they tried to do more, just like they tried to do a second wave of COVID. And I don't think people have the sense of humor for it anymore. And I don't think Obama is as liked as people think he is. It's like all of the Obama and Michelle book deals. Sure, there's some diehard liberals that will buy Michelle Obama's book and put it on the coffee table and probably not read
Hmm.
them. But no, that isn't it isn't organic. I mean, perhaps if I had more diehard Michelle Obama fan friends, where they at? They would often quote me passages from their book, but it doesn't really seem to have gone into common parlance. Um,
Right.
that and she's like when the Christy Class thing happened, and people were going crazy about Michelle Obama's name. Michelle's been doing the podcast circuit. And Michelle's been doing the podcast circuit and coming off as more of a cow than she was before, which is
Hmm.
incredible because she's I wasn't proud of my husband until he got elected to, or my proud of the country until her husband was elected to something.
Right. Which is
And
ridiculous.
yeah, I don't think people love the Obamas, and I think they're
Yeah.
surprised because of course everybody loves them.
Right. But I think this comment is pretty accurate too. That Trump isn't going to tolerate the stuff that he did before, and he doesn't have to worry about reelection. So he can. I mean, that's the nice thing about second term presidents is that they can kind of do whatever they need to do, and it's not they don't have to worry so much.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
but
think yeah, and he's already, sent the Marines to California, so I think
mhm,
that option is, definitely possible going forward.
yeah. Um, so that's interesting. I I
Um,
I don't know what's going to happen with him, but
mhm.
can I just before you seem like you have another thing to talk
Oh,
about, but
go
I
ahead.
just want to mention this tiny thing. It's a tiny little New York thing. So there's this dude that um he's in a county that's like I don't know 3 or 4 hours from where I am. So he's not in New York City, but um he's not in New York City. So he's in part of like the rest of New York. The dude was grooming girls, maybe not girls. He's grooming children either way. He sent videos of himself uh, giving himself gratification and doing different things to these children. And there's some piece of crap judge here in New York that gave him bail for $1.
Wow.
They were able, they have the messages and they have the stuff. And we just need to, this is slightly off topic, but popped into my head. But I was talking, the person who was talking about it watches our show and follows us, and we were talking about like what can we do, and this is your sign to pay attention to small elections, the ones that
Mhm,
you don't necessarily think are that big of a deal. As I'm not in this guy's county, but as a New Yorker, like I can still complain about this because I have a right to, this is my
mhm.
state, I can do it. And we need to start doing the we need to start taking accountability for these small elections. We need to start holding these, not us taking accountability, but we need to start holding these people accountable. Because I don't know about you, but if somebody was sending my children messages like that and they got off on $1 bail, I'd probably end up in prison. Like, and this is, it should never be okay. And we need to start, big government, big stuff's going on, important stuff, but also big stuff is going on in your backyard, and we got to start doing stuff about it. That's just my yes, he says dead pedos don't reoffend. Yeah,
Very true.
that judge, our New York judge is elected. There are different judges, like some are appointed. I don't know, but a lot of our judges are elected. I do know that
Mhm.
I voted for judges. So this person has been elected. He's obviously not going to be reelected because now people know what a piece of trash he is. He's never going to be able to recover from it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even
But
in
I
a
mean,
blue state like New York, we can still hold him accountable. Like, just because our state sucks doesn't mean that we have to like not have standards and
mhm.
morals. And
Yeah. And
I guess that's my point. Sorry.
it's a big thing too, like after, the COVID years and how
Mhm.
weird and intense all of that is. It's like, whew, we're free from that. We all kind of want to forget. It's like, nah, remember your city
There's
council
still a
members.
lot.
Remember
Yeah.
your mayors. Remember that, all tyranny is capricious. And one day if something crazy comes and your federal court judge has just decided that, people in a certain demographic can just go free. Do not forget that.
Hmm.
Do not forget that justice ought to be equal. And if someone does not respect that, then they shouldn't be a judge.
Right. Right. Sherry's saying, she gets discouraged because it seems like they get in, and then there's never any consequences for any of their, of any of these things that they do. And it is upsetting, and it does feel like we can't do a lot. But I mean, the woman who brought it to my attention, she sent me the form where we can make a complaint. I'm going to fill out the
Mhm,
form. I'm pretty sure that I can contact my state assemblywoman. It's
mhm.
not our thing, but uh, there are still channels that you can go through. And I don't know where Sherry's from, but I know living in a blue state, it is discouraging. Like, because it seems like a lot of things, like bail reform, like, don't even get me started on how ridiculous the whole bail reform thing is here in New York. It's just people do whatever the hell they want to now because there's no consequences. And if they get caught, they just get an appearance ticket. Like, oh, that's going to make anybody like do anything. Like, oh, I'm so scared of my appearance ticket, right? Like, so
Yeah,
it gets discouraging, but it's kind of like the squeaky wheel thing. Like, if you keep making
it
noise,
is.
somebody's going to have to listen.
And
So
it's
I
like,
guess that's what we have
how
to
did
do.
the yeah, how did the liberals gain so much ground? Well, they didn't settle for anything yet less, and they pushed and they pushed and they pushed and they pushed.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, we have had a vast amount of changes, by
Hmm.
election in the past several months. But yeah, it is discouraging. But and also, by elections, midterms, and things are not as normally as well attended as elections that coincide with like presidential.
Yep.
So it's like, so you should pay attention and you should vote and you should figure all of that out,
Hmm.
because those are much smaller margins, and
Right. And
definitely getting out the word about things is
that's
important.
also like, if this guy is up for election, 'cause I know we have elections here every year for different things. So if
Mhm.
he's up for election next year when nothing else is happening, that's a great time to remind everybody that he let a pedophile out on $1 bail.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great time to be like, hey, this guy's up for election, and remember when he did this? And do you have kids? Because if you do, probably don't want him on the bench, you know?
Mhm.
But Sherry's saying that
Oh,
she's in Pennsylvania. So yeah, she's kind of in the same boat. It's
mhm.
hard. It's hard when you feel like you don't have a voice, but you still have to, if nothing else, be the annoying person. So
Mhm.
yes, Anne, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, totally. And also, don't forget that you can use Democrat websites in your favor. There's a website called Blue Voter Guide, and because they rip into anybody who isn't perfect, social justice down the line. So they will give you a very clear guide on everything that a Democrat has done. And so
That's good.
on the other side can look at that and be like, oh, well, looky here, this entire sheet of things that they would
Hmm.
approve of and we would therefore disapprove of.
Yeah.
Because a lot of judge appointments and stuff, they don't have any sort of political affiliation because it shouldn't be political because they're judges. But we see a lot of these judges are using it for political power. I mean, against the
Right.
Trump things and against other stuff. But
Yeah.
they
And
are activist judges.
yeah, they're not, they're supposed to be neutral,
Mhm.
but and it's terrible because so I work for a retired judge, and so she happens to be a liberal. Well,
Mhm.
she's a Democrat. I wouldn't even call her a liberal. She's like an old school Democrat, and I love talking to her about things. But she had a sign in her yard for a judge. She said, "Oh yeah, that judge was my clerk." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So when I went to vote, I voted for the other guy. Like, I went and did some research, and I found out who they were, and and I don't want to be like that. And I really like that judge personally, but she's in her 60s. This other person is, closer to my age, which means that she's probably a little bit more out there, which is not what we're going for here. You got to figure these things out.
Yep. Mm. But I know that you
Mhm.
didn't want to go too late today, and there is a
Yeah.
lot of health news I want to get through
Oh
quick.
yeah, yeah. And
Um,
I'm perking up now, so we could go a little later maybe. I
okay,
don't feel quite as tired.
okay. Well, I'm gonna say RFK Jr. Is removing mercury-based preservatives from vaccines,
Hmm.
which is huge. I can hear Amy somewhere, even if she's not watching currently. Like I can feel her just like being ecstatic over
Yes.
this, and I'm ecstatic over this because that's great. um HHS did an information on organ donors for
I
another
know,
thing,
dude.
and it
My
was
husband has been saying this
systematic
for years.
disregard for sanctity of life. And it's something we've been hearing before, but it is an official report officially saying, what the
Hmm.
guys? What's
Well,
going on?
it's funny. I mean, not funny, haha, but like
Yeah.
a few years ago I had a surgery and I sat my husband down and I'm like, I feel bad saying this. It makes me sound like a bad person, but I'm like, I don't want to be an organ donor.
Mhm.
Want I don't want any of that because I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if they know that they can do that, that they don't always do everything they can for you.
Mhm.
And that's a horrible thing to say. And I have a great friend who got a heart who would have died otherwise. And I know it's super important, but also I don't trust these people. And
Mhm.
if you can't trust them, you know,
Yeah.
like what are you supposed to do?
No, and we've seen very cavalier attitudes with
Hmm.
organ donation, with COVID, with
Hmm.
now MAID programs. Yeah,
Not here.
not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully
Well, I
never.
just want to make sure
But
that I didn't miss some, because like I knew about the organ thing. I didn't know about the
yeah,
preservatives, but I heard that he took the COVID vaccine off the childhood vaccination schedule,
yes.
which I was stoked about.
Mhm.
My husband and I had a discussion about that too, but I didn't hear the other part of it.
Right.
So like yeah, lots of good stuff has been happening.
Yeah. Oh, and the White House is also repealing. There was a legislation change in 70s going into 80s about um, being able to commit people to mental hospitals. And because they haven't had that anymore, a lot of homelessness is a mix of mental problems and drug problems. The
Mm-hmm.
White House came out with a thing saying, hey, this is the issue, and we're repealing this, and we're focusing specifically on homelessness, vagrancy, I think they said, proper. But that they're putting provisions in is like, no, we're, if there's some insane dude on the corner, we are putting him in a mental hospital. We're not going to let
Mm-hmm.
him sit there and harass people.
Yeah.
Which, is, we have so many cities, San Francisco, Denver, all of these that have these huge issues. So bringing those back. And I mean, not that I'm a super fan of somebody being institutionalized against their will, because there's a lot of issues with that too. But, and we just said that we don't necessarily trust all the medical system,
Right.
but having, people living in the streets because they cannot care for themselves because of, mental episodes, that's not a good thing either. And these people need to be cared for in some way.
Yeah. I mean, I've read a lot of books about mental institutions and stuff that was going on inside of them, and it was really, really messed up. And I understand why there was a push to get rid of them, because a lot of them were neglecting people and not doing what they should have been for them. They didn't have enough help, and it
Yeah.
was a bad situation. So, and I'm not one for a lot of oversight, but that's a situation where you can probably put in some oversight into that and in some different things to ensure that the people are being treated the way that they should be, you
Mhm.
know. But all in all, our medical system is just totally messed up. And at work yesterday, I was having a conversation. Um, the man I cleaned for is 90, and his wife had been in the hospital for 2 weeks. $112,000 for her 2 week hospital stay. Like, I'm sure that she got good care. I'm sure she had like some MRIs and things, but that would ruin people, right? Like if you had to stay for a long time, that would absolutely ruin you. And also, I did medical billing for a while, and I know that we would bill stuff so high, and the insurance companies would come back and say, no, we're only going to pay X amount of it and stuff. Like it's just not, it's
Yeah,
just
well,
messed up.
the insurance system itself is driving up prices astronomically
Hmm.
on how it is built. It's like, I mean, Trump
But
before did a let's bring down the prices of prescription drugs. If we can do medical bill prices too, that'd be incredible.
I worked in urgent care. We would charge like $200 for like a urine test. Like if somebody thought that they had like a UTI,
Hmm.
like $200 for that, for them to take the piece of paper and put it in the cup of pee. Like
Yeah.
there is no way that all of those supplies and the 37 seconds it took the not even real doctor, it was like we had a physician's assistant and a nurse practitioner because we didn't have a medical doctor in the office.
Mhm.
Um, so they uh, really,
Yeah.
and that was only a part of the thing because that was just one thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I didn't really think about it until when I was working there, my kid was so little. Like I just went to work to do the work to get the money so I could be at home with the kid. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but now that I like look back on it, I'm like that was really messed up.
Yeah.
Like it's whatever. Okay, but yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go. I'm a little bit tangenty today. Perhaps it's because
No,
I'm
it's
tired.
okay. We got but yeah, we have, like I said, lots of good news too. Got NPR and PBS are shut down, which is great. And a lot of people are pearl clutching and then getting their NPR reusable shopping bags, which is also great because, if you listen to NPR, you pay for NPR and you get NPR. And
Hmm.
I say this,
PBS keeps emailing me and asking me for money, and
oh, I'm
I don't
sure.
even know how I got on their list, but that's
No,
okay.
that okay, both NPR and PBS, and I say this as a person who is, from a child, a listener of both NPR and PBS. And yes, I knew the whole time it was liberal claptrap. That's okay. But what can I say? I like classical music and masterpiece theater. Uh, but um, the begging and groveling weeks were always, it's like, we need your support, we need it, we need it, we need it. It's like, yeah. And I also know that you have all this government money, and you also get all of, you have various endowments, and you have, large contributions, because there are ads on PBS, and
Mm-hmm.
it's brought to you by this foundation, that foundation, this
Right.
other thing, and viewers like you.
My kids, when they were small, most of the shows that they really enjoyed were on PBS. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, every time a show would end, it would be like, oh yeah, this is brought to you by this fund. Yeah, I never even thought about that. How ridiculous. And I don't think I even, when we were watching it back then, I don't think I knew it was government funded. I had no idea.
Oh, oh yeah.
And I was naive until I had to not be naive. You know what I mean? I was happy bouncing around, doing my thing. I was not you. I was
It's
not
right.
some
You were
12-year-old
having a good
savant listening
life
to politics.
and a good time, and I was just over here, you know, combination cynical and maybe a little neurotic. I don't know, probably. I'll leave that to the
Mhm.
experts.
Christina says she's on the PBS list. Some show was on during their begging, and I really wanted the DVD set. You know what? That's
See,
actually probably what happened because my husband, um, there's some dude who went to Alaska and lived by himself and built a cabin, and he recorded himself doing it. We watched that. It's a very, very nice, calm show, but
mhm.
we ordered it off of PBS because, I mean, who doesn't want to watch a 50-year-old, 50, 60-year-old man build a log cabin and live on his own in Alaska? It
Oh
was a
yeah,
fabulous show. It's
prime
great.
television. They
It
used to
is.
do that. They did like 1800s House, and like what was it, like Prairie House, or the other one where it was kind of like a reality show where they would take all these different families, and you have to live like it's the 1800s for
I don't think
months.
I ever saw that one.
It
No.
was
Oh,
probably
Christina knows
50
who I'm
years.
talking about.
Yeah. No, but they always have the begging and groveling things, and it's, that they only play the things you actually want,
Hmm.
during this time. It's like, oh, well, again, back in the day, it'd be like, oh, they're actually having an Anne of Green Gables marathon. This is so much better than great Marxists of our time. And, we can actually watch things that we like. Or if it's NPR on the radio, it's like, wow, they're actually playing like the good Mozart today, and not,
Yeah,
the lesbian studies crying, symphony. This is fantastic. It's like, I actually
that's
enjoy
so funny.
Mozart.
Um, and I mean, I am a sucker for Antiques Roadshow too. I won't
Oh,
lie. I've always liked it.
mhm.
Even when I was like a kid, like I don't know, I was a
No, it's
nerd.
good though.
It's okay, I
Oh,
was a nerd.
and in the chat, all creatures great and small, fantastic. Colonial House, that's one of them. I forgot about that one. But
Yeah, I don't know all of them, but
I loved all
yeah,
creatures
there's
great and small.
yep, there were a lot of things. There were a lot of things I enjoyed on PBS, but yeah, it should be funded by the people who want to watch it, I guess, right? Or they
Yeah.
could get commercials like everybody else, which I hate, but also, I mean, that's one way of funding if you
Mhm.
don't want to. Yeah. Their options, I guess, is all. Doc Martin. Yes, I thought that he was on there. I like Doc Martin.
Mhm.
Although that was one of those shows that went on too many seasons and I stopped watching it.
Mhm.
Got bored.
Yeah.
But
Teresa
anyway,
Garrison Keeler. Okay, I will admit I enjoyed Prairie Home Companion, but Garrison Keeler could not A, choose a good poem, or B, read a poem to save his life. Like, there was a time where I remember we listened to NPR fairly often, and like it was like 6 o'clock, he'd read a poem, and just every time it was the worst delivery. It was so bad. It was like bad poem minute with Garrison Keeler. And then, all the scandals came out and they stopped that.
I don't know who he is.
The Prairie Home
But
Companion from Lake
no,
Wobegon, Minnesota.
well, I've heard Prairie Home Companion. I don't know the guy though. But Masterpiece Theater,
Oh
like
yeah.
Downton Abbey. Oh my God, I loved all the crap on Masterpiece Theater. That's like my jam. I won't lie.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess if you want to do it like there are ways to do it. And I guess sending me emails is one of them because I bought Alone in the Wilderness from them, 15 years ago. So therefore, I am fair game. But,
There you go. See the
I love
sucker? It's
PBS.
me.
Yeah. Hmm.
But that is how you make money, guys.
This Old House. Yeah. See, there's a ton. But now This Old House, if you like This Old House, it is on Pluto for free.
Pluto's
I mean, a lot
awesome.
of stuff. I like Pluto.
Not a
Yeah.
sponsor, but Pluto's great.
Yeah. No, we
Again,
only have one
Pluto
sponsor, and that's
Pluto
Chicken
is
Lady.
yeah. Pluto is the stuff that I actually want to watch, like old TV and Star Trek, which I guess Star
Hmm.
Trek is old TV now, but still, like they're like,
Yeah.
hey, look, it's actually want to watch Indiana Jones. I'm like, yeah, I want to watch Indiana Jones. That's something I actually want in front of my eyes. You go over to Netflix and it's like, what is this? Why? I don't know these people.
Yeah. Although the Texas She Plays asking what's Pluto. Pluto is a channel that's available on streaming services. So, like, I have a Roku, so I'm able to download it through my Roku. I don't know what Ann uses, but you can
Yeah,
get it
you
through
can get
different
on.
apps and things.
Yeah, Tubi is mentioned too, but it's a free service. You don't even have to log in, but it
Hmm.
has ads. But also everything has ads,
Yep.
so they're not they're not even too bad. Though
Yep.
when it comes election season, this last year was pretty Kamala Harris heavy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they always are. But anyway,
still, it's
so,
an ad is an ad is an ad.
yep.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, totally separate because I'm sure we're going to be getting off soon.
Hmm.
But now for something completely different, from England.
Okay.
Have you heard of the protests going on there lately?
I have not.
So in Epping, which is in the Greater London area, there's a migrant hotel um, near Canary Wharf. Um,
Okay.
Anyways, there have been all of these protests about it, because England is sick and tired of all these migrants. But B, the police have actually personally bussed in counter protesters for the migrant protest and hoping to incite some sort of violence between the groups in which one group would be protected and the other would not be. And then at the end of the day, they bust the counter protesters home.
Well, isn't that special?
Oh, super special. But
Okay.
anyways, I mean that info is getting out, which is good. But that is
Hmm.
also they're clamping down hard and fast as they can for that information to get out. So
Yeah. Very interesting.
mhm.
Um, so,
And anyways, just I could keep up with international stuff a little bit.
yeah, absolutely. Um, but I'm starting to lose my train of thought again, which means I guess I am still tired.
Yeah. Well, we only meant to be on an hour and we're getting close to that. So and we will again see y'all again Sunday night
Yeah.
for
And Sunday will
closing.
be a little bit, it'll be earlier than this.
Mhm.
So that's
Oh,
for sure.
and in the chat, Cassie says that California had a Second Amendment win. That,
hmm
yeah, background checks and ammo struck down courts. Californians can have ammo shipped to their house now, which is great.
that is awesome.
You know, joked before, but it's like, how far should you take the Second Amendment? I mean, next day RPG shipped to your house. That's what I think. I think that that's important for my self defense and yours.
Yeah, I've never had it shipped to my house, but it's always good to know it's an option. I'm surprised that that's not an issue here. Although we tend to follow California, so perhaps we hadn't gotten there yet. You know what I mean? But very cool. Um, so We will be back on Sunday night.
We will.
Um, you can use the code PIKQuiche to get 20% off of your order of $50 or more at chickenladyfiberarts.com. You can get great yarns like Chum Bucket Blues,
Mm-hmm.
like Fire Brick. If you
Like
comment on this
firewood.
video after it finishes, you can get you can get entered to win, not other things, but you can get entered to win that.
Yes.
Don't forget to keep working on your Shark Week projects. I mean, if you're participating, I'm sure you know what's going on, but hey, you've got 2 more days. My kid that participates got all freaked out because they thought they'd finish it today. And we went sailing and we did all these other things and they were too tired to knit. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. We have time. So,
It's okay. Well, like me
um,
working on these sleeves, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, it's okay. Yeah, I got
I
the rest.
only have a little bit more lace to do, but I have to work all day tomorrow. So I hope that I can like buckle down on Sunday and get those.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot, but I hope it's okay.
And also, I know that some of y'all are, worrying about stuff. I mean, definitely get your projects finished. That's great. Okay, there, as I've said before, there are two there's a grand prize and there's a secondary prize that are taken out of everybody who finishes their project. But there's also a prize for those who did not finish their project.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, the prize for among those who do not finish the project, which is a smaller pool, is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So don't worry, finish your project, absolutely. But also, we got you. You're fine.
Cassie, it ends Sunday at 11:59.
Yeah.
So wherever, and we're letting you do your own time zone. So it's not like East Coast time zone you have to be done. You in
Mm,
California can finish it at 11:59 on Sunday the 27th. Once it flips to the 28th, you're cut off.
there you go.
All right, wherever you live. So, and everybody gets stickers who is participated and provided their info on the sheet. So you got that going for you.
Everybody gets stickers. It's a good
Yeah, because it's a fun time. So use the code. Check out Chicken Lady. We'll see you again on Sunday. I'm gonna go to bed
Yeah, you can
because
go.
it's that time here. I'm
Yeah.
usually asleep by now. So thanks for joining
Good
us and
idea.
hanging out. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Okay, guys.
All right, see you then.
All right, bye.
Bye.